because, well, maybe I can share my screen with you via.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Yeah, if you can find a way to share your screen with me in real time, that would be ideal.
Well, yeah, maybe I can do it with you on Discord.
Yeah, I don't need it. Like, I can work without it, but if you can do it, that's ideal.
Share your screen. Yeah, I should be able to select. Okay, I should be able to do this. Let me get there. Let me ask you, do you streaming channel? Okay, yeah, I think I got you. Wait, does that do anything for you?
Hell yeah! All right.
Sick.
Sick. Okay, cool. So I'll have that there.
Oh yeah, we're live. No, we've been live.
Here. Okay. Are
Cracking.
you talking to me?
Yeah. I was just letting you know.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
And now I just want to have the... Where is the chat?
Yeah, the chat. Yacheto. Yacheto. Is Yacheto.
Yeah, where do you find the chat on...
On Twitch?
Oh, here it is. Never mind.
Yeah. Surf's up. Cowabunga, dude. Me and my dad watched, I was explaining to him, no, he was talking about how he thought how he thought Tom and Jerry was even kind of boring as a kid. And I was like, yeah, it was boring. Looney Tunes was boring to me. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, it's because I grew up in like flavor blasted country. And I showed him the intro to Extreme Dinosaurs, Biker Mice from Mars, and Street Sharks. And then explained gargoyles, which he actually he was like, "What?" So they're like during the day they're statues and they like break out of it at night. I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly it."
That's literally it. Yeah.
Like Gargoyles is a good show though, unlike these other ones, which are.
Gargoyles is a great show.
Yeah. Do you remember Extreme Dinosaurs?
I don't actually. I remember Biker Mice from Mars.
I was a big Biker Mice from Mars.
I don't
fan.
remember. Yeah, I remember Street Sharks.
Yeah. Street Sharks is like the jazziest intro ever. It's insane.
Yeah. But what was the other one you were talking about?
Extreme Dinosaurs. It's fucking amazing. I highly recommend the intro. It is probably my favorite song. Yep. Extreme dinosaurs, velocitas you to the max, to fossilize you in your tracks.
90th shit I've ever heard.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Jesus Christ.
High Gen Xers making music for millennial TV shows. It's cool. So,
down.
I cleaned up. Sup, boy? What's up, Derek?
Hey, bud.
So, I cleaned up some things because I left feeling not so cool about the Aura Rocher.
Okay.
And then I realized there was something in my head when I was first envisioning this game that I think they can fulfill as a role. So, segmented insects, yes. But lithe of frame and literally hardwired, like covered in metal, covered in like mechanics.
Oh, okay. So they're metal bugs.
Yeah, metal bugs.
Metal bugs. All right. Yeah. No, I'm down with that.
I realized we didn't have like a lot of like we didn't have like I don't know some stuff, and so I also made 2 more races.
Oh, sick! Let me hear them.
Okay, so the first one is the Sarrow, Sarrow, Star Shatter 1, Creatronics 2, Biologica 3. Claimed to be the lineage of raids draped in living metal. I've never seen the buggers be more than nasty little monsters. For a time, those attempting to force society were oh boy. My spelling isn't great here. We're plagued by the Sarrow. Reptilian and pulsing with seemingly liquid metal skin, the Sarrow are short of stature and have a reputation for viciousness. Gods help you help your enemies if you claim one as a friend. My ideas for these are basically that of like mean hobbits or or like a goblin or a kobold, if you will.
Okay, I'm sure.
I'm seeing like big ears, like smooth metallic skin, and just like hordes of them. Yeah, probably
Okay.
bad reputation, bad rep.
Oh, mean alien hobbits.
Mean alien hobbits.
Yeah. So where do these guys come from?
I don't. Well, I'm kind of seeing them like again, like so. I don't know if we have to define exactly where everyone came from so much right now.
Okay.
But they're definitely alien in nature. So possibly a crash-landed ship. They just sort of... I like the idea of their story versus like what everyone knows about them. What everyone knows about them is they're mean little shitheads who destroy, and they claim to be of like proud lineage of wraiths and dragons and like
right. It sounds like that's going to be a recurring theme from everything that we've done so far, because like these guys have like this whole like difference in perception of like what they know about themselves versus what other people see. We've done similar stuff for like the tunnelers. We've done similar stuff for like embrophytes.
I think it makes
it sounds like this is going to be a big thing.
I think it makes sense given the setting of like post-apocalypse after the fall. Like everyone gets to reinvent their culture at that point.
Well, and it's definitely something that I bring it up mainly to point out that, and I'm sure you're probably thinking like 30 steps ahead of me on this. We should probably make that some kind of a mechanic, right? Like you already have that in mind, where like community is going to play a mechanical part in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And like that is going to get into, man, I don't know if I should read. So I wrote a couple other things. Like, so we were talking about before, like what kind of stories we're trying to tell with this game, and like the mechanics that back that up, because like that is essentially what is going to define our game, is the stories we're trying to tell, like what we're trying to do. And I mentioned that community is a big, like community is one thing I want to tell, and I think that's going to come through with like having feat system where what you do interacts like mechanically with what your teammates do. Here, you know what? I'm going to read you like a little blip I made for Delvers.
Okay.
So, Delvers are crews that form within the confines of the world. Seekers of forgotten knowledge, lost artifacts, and resources to be bought, sold, and otherwise tendered to the outside world. Eccentrics, fortune seekers, and most of all, a community. Delvers plumb the depths of ancient mysteries, hoards and stashes hidden in nooks and crannies, overgrown by new flora and protected by ancient securities and monsters of forgotten lore. But Delvers do not work alone. Bred from community, Delvers form a familia, a cohesive unit of like-minded individuals with common goals. Delvers are specialized and distinct, no two encompassing the same set of skills, but all of them uniquely positioned to help the crew advance as a whole. Succeed or fail, Delvers do it as a team. Living, laughing, eating, sleeping, and often dying as a unit, they share cramped spaces and sparse resources. But without these madmen, civilization wouldn't stand a chance.
Love it.
Okay, so like that, I think here, and like I sent you that game, Into the Endless Sea.
Yeah.
So this game, first off, looks really cool. I actually really want to play it, and it's also post-fall, hopeful fantasy, science fiction mix. It's cool. I'm liking that we're hitting a lot of same themes as something that's very popular.
Sure.
But one thing that they do that I really, really like is they solve the your team working together issue that I think a lot of fantasy has trouble getting into, which is like you go to a tavern and meet these idiots, or like you've known each other, like. So what that game presupposes is like you're all working aboard the same chainsaw ship. So what this game presupposes is you're all a member of the same Delver crew.
Right. I mean, it definitely solves like that problem of the awkward, like you all meet at a tavern issue. Like, and I definitely think that, I mean, for people who maybe are worried about that kind of thing, like, it still leaves the door open for you to do it if you want.
Sure.
But it definitely gives you kind of a way to just be like, hey, this is just what this world is. It kind of demands that you all work together, and if you don't, you're gonna die. Like,
what do you mean? There is that just you making up lore for our game right now? Because that's dope. Have you heard of the Delvers event from Endless Legend? I don't know what that is. Is that a video game?
Is Endless Legend a thing?
I don't know.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope
Burn
he's
it to
just
the ground.
No, not a real thing.
But like, fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, whatever. This is just dwarfs.
Shit. No, it's a thing.
Not too worried about
Delvers
it.
of Endless Legend. Okay, fine.
What is this game?
Endless Legend?
Oh, it's a faction within. Looks like dwarves. Whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, whatever.
It's like humanoid, but dwarves. Okay.
Whatever. We're still using the name, or for right now we are. I'm open to changing it. It's not like it's a placeholder right now.
Sure.
It gives us something to call the crew, and I think that is something that I think we should definitely hark on. I want to work. Those pictures did look cool, though. Those guys did look dope. I definitely want to have like crew skills or crew mechanics.
I like the idea of even like crew maneuvers.
Yeah,
Like
I really like that.
yeah.
And part of me is wondering.
Like a move that you can do.
Part of me is wondering, do we like mechanize that or allow emergent gameplay to have that come about? Because I think the inevitability of a diverse feat system is going to happen, especially if we have a feat system that interacts with other players' skill set. So probably a larger conversation we need to have. But I mean, that's when we get to the section of actually fucking figuring out what dice system we're gonna use, which is a fucking nightmare. I know. I have been last night I was up till like fucking 12:30 or 1 thinking about it. Like, I've got some ideas, but I don't even know. I don't even know.
I think we're gonna have to I still think we're gonna have to go big with it. I think it's got to be a D100 game with all of them. With all of the modifiers that we're talking about here, like.
I mean, yes and no. I think you could probably accomplish it with a D20 just fine if you keep the actual accumulated modifiers low, or you just set DCs higher, or do you have a unique rolling system altogether? My only issue with D100s is it always breaks down into percentile games, which I don't find... I mean, they're cool, it's just I don't find them particular... They're crunchy in a way that I don't want to be crunchy.
Right.
But I'm also worried about just using a D100 in that it's going to be intimidating.
Well, I guess. It's definitely going to be something that when they look at building a character, I think that's going to make it more intimidating for sure.
I think big numbers can freak people out, but I also think that people like big numbers too. Like, there's not a small subsection of people who enjoy power gaming who see large numbers.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, no, as somebody who like has like 2 history degrees, like, yes, big numbers are scary. Like, I get that. I don't know.
It's also a matter of like,
I'm just
what crowd do we want to appeal to?
Yeah, also true. No, like it's. I'm just honestly more of the impression that this is going to be something that we're not going to have much of a choice in the matter. Like we may be able to work with like a D20.
I think
maybe I don't know if we really streamline the system, we could even maybe make it work with a D12.
All those threes,
like,
baby.
It's too early to call at this point.
It really is.
Like,
I did have
a lot of
a neat idea of having like a luck die that you roll alongside of skills that adds consequences or boons.
I love that idea.
I thought it'd be neat. Or maybe it's like a resource. I don't know. And that's the other thing. Like, we should definitely play around with the idea of resources because it's a team that's about collecting resources. Like,
yeah,
pulling resources seems like a very cool way to gamify that.
It definitely, like, I do want it to walk the line between, like, I want it to be a resource-based game, but in all of the ways that makes resource management fun and not in the ways that makes it, like, cumbersome.
Yeah.
And that's such a big, like, line to walk. Like, because I don't know, like, I remember when I started playing Metal Gear 5, I was so excited about it because the gameplay is, like, incredible in it, and, like, in a lot of ways it was exactly what I wanted Metal Gear to be, until I got to the parts where, like, you have to, like, get stuff for Mother Base, and, like, build the base of operations, and, like, manage staff and all that, and, like, I don't know. I think I want to try and find a way in this game to make resources actually valuable and not just like random things you get, but like that have like a tangible value, but like do that without making it exponentially crunchier.
And that's actually like why I've been harping on this idea of using the tag system.
Yeah,
I think that could be really useful for resource management and like utilization, like having a cache of treasure that you. Oh man, and like I really like the idea of like the team tendering this shit to the outside world, selling it, like otherwise dispersing it. I really like the idea of everyone working as this like fucking crew.
Yeah,
but I
like I don't know. I'm very inspired by like the barter system in Ruma, like where you don't actually have money, you just have like a certain number of barter, and however you justify that barter, that's like what you have as a resource. Like I don't know.
I wonder if we can utilize that with the tag system though. Like what you find in this cache is this tag. And like utilize that as you see fit, because we were talking about using it with character upgrades and stuff too. And I don't know, Fate has made good use of it in a narrative way, and then all these PBTA games do it too. like fucking, what do you call it? Cities of Mist is all about tags. Like, at least as a like, if not a full system, like a system that underlies everything, where you affix these tags to things, I think could be really neat.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think that the tag system, I mean, there's a lot, I think, of useful stuff to take away from like PBTA games, but the tag system may be actually one of the most important things. Like it's I think got the most universal application of pretty much any system that you play with as far as like dice rolling games. So using that as kind of a placeholder for resource management might be probably the easiest way to go about it. Especially if the whole rest of the game is going to be as mechanically heavy as it's sort of shaping out to be. Because right now, it's looking like that aspect of it is going to be pretty mechanically heavy.
Narrative crunch. That's the idea we're working with. Let's just try to adhere
Narrative
to it.
crunch. Yeah. No, I'm all in for it.
So maybe I should. Okay, so before I introduce you to my next race, I should probably introduce you to my first threat.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
One thing that a lot of games have in abundance is like orc hordes or like the drow, the drugar, like the duragar, like I just said it the way Mike said it, Derek. The duragar, like whether they are intelligent or roving hordes, the idea that there are dangerous things out there that have culture and think like is. Let me present to you my villains.
Okay.
Holy shit, I didn't write about them. Okay, so that was.
Do you not have them?
Oh no, there they are. Okay.
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 Actually, wait, hang on. While you're getting that pulled up, let me go grab something real quick.
The Drugar. My name's Drugar. Hi, Derek.
I'm so sorry, Derek. I'm ruining the show.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh no! I'm gonna get Twitch banned for the burp.
You're gonna get Twitch banned?
Yeah, you're not allowed to burp on stream.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dang.
Oh, gee whiz.
Oh, dang. Guess we're going to Mixer.
Oh, dang. Oh, beans.
So... What do you got over there?
Did I really not? I'm actually just looking for my pen. Hang on.
Did you write some stuff too?
I'm all the way up there with the other. I had that idea for a kind of like something that would go on the character sheet to help determine like attributes. And I was gonna draw it, and I didn't, but it's fine. We'll get to it in a second. What's your thing?
Okay, so the enemies I came up with are named the Nocturine. They're dangerous, mysterious, clad in black robes, iron masks. The Nocturine rule the skies. They move in small bands and are a blight on the land. Piracy, theft, and destruction are their lineage. Their airships made of unknowable tech because none of them have ever been taken alive. Militaristic in nature, they move in small bands, affixing themselves to mountains in these sleek fucking like old school looking airships, moving through the skies and just taking to the land occasionally and fucking shit up.
All right.
They're just metal mask, black robes, fucking sky pirates.
Hell yeah. And so basically the thing about these guys is that we don't really have a backstory for them because the whole point is that we don't know actually who or what they are. They're just
Well,
sky pirates.
well, we know a little bit about them because this brings me to my other race.
Okay.
Because I love half-orcs so much. The Deminoct.
Of course.
Exceedingly rare
Okay.
and hardly tolerated. The Deminoct are born to other species, but how is not known. Their twisted forms, by some blight, they bear an iron mask of the Nocturine, but do not claim them as ancestors. They're just regular people, but they are cursed with this visage.
Oh, all right. Fuck yeah. And wait, and so these are playable, like a playable race?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, that sounds kick-ass.
They're not quite. They're not quite that, but they are. You know that.
Well, okay, so to clarify, so these things are people? They're what are they under the masks?
The mask is affixed to your face. It is like a metal thing you cannot. Well, okay. So I also played with the idea that they wear the mask because what's underneath it is so horrible.
Okay.
But I like the idea that it's just there, like a curse. It adds this element of like magic to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, my idea for them were very much half-orcs or tieflings. They're not evil. They just bear the face of evil.
Yeah, they just kind of look like it.
Yeah.
They are just misunderstood. Okay, yeah, sick. No, I'm for sure into this.
Nice. Yeah, airships are dope. That's why they're so in this game.
Okay, so we have
8 races.
8 races. God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have them in like more or less equal numbers? I know we said we're not beholden to that, but just out of curiosity.
We have 3 biological 1. We have
Okay.
2 Star Shatter 1 and 2 Creatronics 1. It looks like 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, hold on. I counted wrong. It's okay. 1, 2. Then we have 2 Creatronics 1. 1, 2, 3. Shit, no. We have 4. By
yeah,
you know
I was
what,
gonna
though?
say we have 4.
We can
Yeah.
change our Shay to Creatronics 1 now that they're metalized.
All right. Yeah, I think that's sick.
And again,
Like I know we said it doesn't have to.
it is mostly for us to keep things in line, but part of that means that we have to
Yeah.
keep them in line. So,
Sure.
so that's 3 biological 1.
Okay.
Man, why do we like biological
And then
so much? And then 2 Star
I think
Shatter.
it's just easy. It's more familiar.
Yeah.
2 Star Shatter, and then what was it? How many Creatronics now? 3?
Yeah. 3, 3, and 2. So,
3 and 2.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sick.
I'm
So if
open
we
to the
wanted
idea.
to try and make it balance. Oh, go ahead.
I'm open to the idea of another one. I just don't have anything right now.
Okay. Gotcha. So I had kind of an idea actually for an alien race.
Okay.
But I don't really have a name. So this race is, I guess, like as a placeholder, I would just call them like the Builders. But this is like a race of aliens that claim to be descendants of the first settlers of this planet, whatever it is. So I have them envisioned as kind of like these all-white, 9-legged creatures that sort of like ambulate along all of their legs, kind of like a spider almost. But they're a lot more individualistic than like most of the other races have been. They're sort of like they're not like as communal as like tunnelers or like Emberfights or the what's the other one, Polytar.
I mean, I kind of like that because one idea of telling stories that build community is that sometimes people come from no community to get there.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like no. I think that it's important. I think to have like a good spectrum of both, because like the what is it? The Arache, the Attaché,
The Arache.
Arache. The Arache are the only other ones that are like really individualized. Well, I guess maybe the Sorrow
The Imaginarians.
aren't as much. Yeah, we actually didn't talk really about Imaginarians and where they're from, though.
Yeah, I like. They're kind of a weird one. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Often taken.
Also, can I just say, I love Sorrow. It does make me think of the Metal Gear Solid villain, the Sorrow, every time it is said out loud.
Oh, shit. Whatever.
No, keep it. I mean, you don't need to change it. Just because I'm weird doesn't mean it needs to be doesn't need to be fucked with.
Every individualistic 9-legged 9 legs, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to go for something like, so one of the things that I liked about this species is that whereas like I don't know, when you talk about like standards of beauty, one of the only like common things that most people don't argue with is that like symmetry tends to be like considered a universally beautiful feature. These ones are not.
Asymmetrical.
They are not. Yeah, they are completely asymmetrical. And like, I don't really have any notes beyond that. I just thought it was sort of a cool, like, thing to play with.
For some reason in my head, they're like, long. like in my head, for some reason, when I hear 9 legs, I think like a luck dragon, kind of like not like that long, but like what you described me, I'm just like picturing these things like centipedes crawling on things, just like arms and legs, like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have something more akin to like a monster in my mind. Like, and
you don't think Falcor's a monster?
And I don't necessarily say what?
You don't think Falcor's a monster?
Falcor's a monster. I mean, we all know what he did. But
I'm legitimately afraid of Falcor.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think he's scary.
Why? Why is he scary?
I don't know. I just don't like it.
He's just trying to help Artax on his.
He could and will eat me when no one's looking.
I mean, he probably would. That's kind of what I mean, though, is like you don't know what he did.
Oh, know what he did. Goddamn pervert.
He knows. God knows.
Asymmetrical,
God saw.
often taken to hermetism.
Yeah, I like that.
Living in the edifices of cultures and societies long past. Oh yeah, I mean that's a valuable resource to have on a team. Knowledge.
Yeah, and it would make sense too, because like they would occupy maybe like the long since abandoned lands of their supposed ancestors, like.
Taken to.
Yeah. And as far as the placeholder name I have too, that also kind of ties into what we were talking about before with like the way they see themselves versus the way other people see them. I don't know if other species call them builders, but they definitely call themselves that. Like, it's definitely something that they consider themselves to be like the builders of this world.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that plays really well with lost culture concepts.
Yeah.
You see that all the time in fiction. I also put taken to peculiar inebriants. I like the idea of them being very alien and like, maybe this is in my head because I thought of them as long, and now I'm thinking of like Alice in Wonderland, that bong.
Oh, sure. Yeah. God, imagining one of these things just like stumbling at you drunk is the scariest thing. That's literally very frightening.
I like that a lot, though. So Star Shatter 1,
Yeah, for sure.
Biologica
Star
2.
Shatter 1, Biologica 2, yeah, and Creatronics 3.
Okay, 9 races.
Oh yeah.
You want to hear something very intimidating? You're not going to like it when
no.
I tell you.
But is it like the D&D has like 13 races and like
Oh,
Pathfinder has like 30 races?
No, not that. The amount of skills we're going to have to write.
Didn't we already... We need 3... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. No.
I think it's 27.
No.
I knew you weren't going to like it.
Triangles.
Triangles evolve, dog. Triangles on triangles on triangles. The game of triangles.
Game of triangles. Okay.
I mean, it's actually not
Okay.
that bad. We're writing 3 skills for each of the attributes.
Right. So...
And making sure
We
that
really
they
just
don't
gotta
overlap
think
with
about
each
it.
other.
Yeah, we just gotta... That's gonna be where that's where we're gonna get really fucked up here, but...
Yep.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What's first?
Well, Oh, I also came up with something.
Oh, yeah.
So, we were talking before and you were like, do we need classes? And I was a fan of them.
Yeah.
And now I'm hyper a fan of them.
Okay.
Because when we're talking about a Delver team, what do you do in the team? I don't know if we need to look at it as classes, but what do you do in the team? And this doesn't have to define your skill set, but it can refine it a bit.
I mean, maybe even something that, like, you don't even call it a class, you just call it, like, your job.
Want to hear my
like,
word?
your role.
I was using province. What's your province within the
Ooh,
group?
I like that.
Yeah!
Yeah, I love that.
Like, I don't know, in my head, it's these guys living in, like, fucking cramped quarters in, like, some fucking, like, mechanical crab, like, smoking, drinking, laughing, fucking taking to these fucking buried obelisks and, like, pulling out resources and selling it to start, like, the hard work of building society. Like, it's difficult for civilization to maintain, and, like, I was talking earlier, like, when I'm thinking, like, the cities that exist are probably not that many. They're probably more communities.
Yeah.
And the cities that do exist, I'm thinking, I mean, are probably large, because, like, I was trying to think, like, in the head of, like, Aztec Maya. Like, the cities that did exist were expansive, right?
Yeah, massive.
But that was, like, the city in that area, right?
Right. And then everything else was kind of like a suburb or like a hamlet.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like that work. Like, does that feel like the fall? Like, after the fall? Like, very much after the fall kind of thing?
I mean, look, I think that this is where one of those moments where we have to remind ourselves that like we're building this world and we can do whatever we want with it. But that being said, it definitely does kind of play with the whole post-apocalyptic theme that like after the collapse, people naturally huddled together. I mean, like that just makes sense. Like in these times of like absolute devastation, like whatever was left of humanity, whatever was left of life, clinged to each other, and they built small settlements. And over time, those small settlements would naturally progress into the biggest cities, barring any kind of like, massive environmental devastation or something like that. Like a tidal wave could wipe out an early city, sure.
Yeah.
But but beyond that, I mean, no, I mean that makes perfect sense.
And I like that. Like communication is probably sparse between places. Like, developing mythologies about what's over the next hill. Like that is very much the milieu we're playing with.
Yeah, and I definitely think also that like those big cities, that sort of construction of like big cities and like then like these tiny little neighboring villages, I think that plays to that sense of community.
I do too.
Like historically, I think that makes sense, that people sort of like flocked to like the few safe places that there would have been. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't necessarily think we need to be beholden to it if we have a better idea. But I don't have a problem with it, and I like it.
All right, cool. Then we are on the same page.
Cool.
Like the atmosphere of this game is really starting to settle in on me, and it feels nice.
Yeah, no, I think it feels good.
Why does it say I'm away
You're away.
on Twitch?
Have we been having this whole conversation
Just
off air?
Bullshit! Why would I talk to my friend off air?
I swear to God.
No, we are on air.
Okay. Thank God, because I would have walked.
Thank God, I don't want to talk to you in person. Do you like?
Oh, help me!
Do you like my title this time?
I can barely see it, if I'm being honest. What's the title?
Stepping into.
Oh, do you mean of the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought you were like talking about a specific note. One sec. Building a world map and exploring cultures. Yeah, hell yeah.
You wanna know something really cool?
Yeah.
Okay, I will let you know something really cool. I just gotta figure out how to do something real quick.
Yeah, we need to have an off-air talk about working with OBS.
That's not what I'm
Never
doing. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh, no, where did... This is the one I want to. That's why. This is what I'm talking about. If you will look at what I just shared on your Discord.
I got nothing on Discord.
You see the...
Oh, hang on. I've got something on Twitch. I don't show it on Discord.
I just said share screen on Discord. Stream quality screen. Share.
No.
Stop streaming. Okay. Here, maybe this will do it. At Here Be Monsters.
I mean, for the record, I can see it on the Twitch stream. I can't see it on Discord. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
I bought Wonderdraft.
Ooh! I don't completely know what that is. I know it's a map making thing.
It is.
I'm fucking into it.
It seemed like it might be better for our uses, at least right now, than what do you call it? What we're using? Incarnate?
Yeah, Incarnate was the one I was using before.
This seems. I mean, it seems more like old school mappy, or you can make old school maps with it, which might be nice for aesthetic. But more importantly, it seems like it's good for like setting up regions and stuff. That being said, I was looking at Project Dios, but it's just in beta right now, and I don't know how good the use case for it would be. So I don't know. But I played around with this earlier, and here, I'll just give you a. Let's do.
Hey, give me a taste.
Yeah, give me a taste. Yeah, give me a taste.
Hey, give me a
theme.
sample.
Adventure, Eastward, Feudal, Imagination, Paper Pastel, Worn.
Imagination?
Okay, I have no idea what this is gonna look like, so.
I don't know what the fuck that is. It was the one that caught my attention the most.
Okay. So.
Alright.
Start with a. Little landmass, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what I'm gonna do? Let's see. I was playing around with it earlier. Rough up the edges so it looks real. There we go.
Hell yeah. That's sick. I love
Yeah.
that.
You could do like a lot with it. Labels, regions. And look, we can make this a. And you can fuck with the actual points of. Move them in. So we can actually set regions, which is going to be probably significant to us. Now, I wish ideally there would be like a way that we could both be on the same map.
Yeah, that would be sick. Unfortunately, I don't know if that exists.
It's like such specific use case.
Yeah.
We could throw labels on. Text. Gods. Kick-ass. Shit.
Okay, well, we're keeping that.
That's real now. Everyone saw
Yeah,
it.
that's real. That's canon. The world saw. God saw.
And you can change like the text that goes there. Symbols. You could use, fucking mountains and shit like that. Shrink them right down.
Hell yeah.
So I feel like we can really get a map going with this. So
Yeah,
let's do that.
I'm into it.
Discard.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go big. Because we want a lot of place to work with.
Yep. For sure.
Uh,
This is going to be a world map.
and we can always just make other maps zoomed in of regions too. So, template. We'll do full HD theme. I don't know what these themes look like. Let's play with a couple, huh?
Yeah.
See what adventure looks like. I don't hate that.
All right. Yeah.
It's,
Got that like coffee stained look.
yeah, which I dig. New discard. Let's see what Worn looks like. So far, adventure has caught my attention just because it feels like it fits aesthetic well.
Yeah.
Feudal.
No, ideally we'd want it to at least look like the kind of map that would actually be passed out at that time.
Right, like the kind of map these adventurers would have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, these delvers.
Elvers. Don't you dare call them adventurers.
That's not what we do. It's a profit
Beneath
game. kind of like this.
That's pretty sick, actually. I like that.
That's eastward, I think.
Eastward? All right.
Black and white. I mean, let's just look at it. I don't like it. Surprise.
Yeah, no.
Paper. It looks a lot like Adventure.
Adventure. It's almost identical. That is identical. That's the same coffee stain.
No, different coffee stain.
Bullshit.
I looked at Terra earlier. I don't honestly think it's gonna. I don't know. This is pretty,
no.
but it's not our theme.
Yeah, it's very pretty, but like a blue map feels weird to me. I can't really explain why that is, but
It's that history shit inside of you.
yeah.
But yes, we do need to have a conversation about OBS just because I don't know how to use it. I don't hate this either,
Yeah.
but I agree with you. I'm not.
No, I'd still go for like the adventure one over that though. Like so far that seems like the strongest one.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I do actually like that one.
It's kind of like
that one I would go with.
splitting the uprights.
Yeah, no. Alright, let's go with this.
Okay. Fuck landmasses. Okay. So I don't know if there is a generator, like just a randomizer on here. Oh, landmass wizard. Oh, no. I see. Whoa. Continent. Roughness. Oh, shit, dude. Let's do a world one. Roughness? What do you want me to set the roughness at?
What would roughness mean? What is that?
I have no idea. I didn't even see this last time.
All the way at 100.
All right, baby.
I want the roughest fucking world there is.
Well, that's not great.
A little bit disparate.
Well, this is a world map, too. We can zoom
I know.
in. But yeah, I agree. I like the idea of like a large centralized continent.
I don't even need a centralized continent. I just want a little bit more land than what they're giving us here.
They built
See, I like that. That's cool.
Okay. This I don't hate.
Yeah, no, I could get into that for sure. I wouldn't mind having one that has like more very thin passages of land between big landmass. Like, because I feel like that can create some very cool like play.
Now, hold on here.
Like that.
We can expand that a bit too.
That's got a, yeah, that's got a lot of potential actually.
Whoa. Invert. It's like me and Aruma.
Oh God, no. You know how land is blue.
Well, obviously the blue part is the land. I can't believe I did it so bad. I got
Jesus, you did a Buster Blue.
I'm going to Army, mother.
Buster. I'm going to Army. I got these medals from Army.
I fucking love Buster. Like, I like the idea of closing in here and here.
I can't see where you're pointing.
Oh, right. Okay. Like, something like...
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
And even like in here.
No, I'm into that. I'm into making that one into a big continent. I want you to leave the other one though where it's at.
This guy? The one I just fucked up?
Wait, where are you thinking? No, the one up at the top is fine. The one that kind of snakes its way down the whole eastern side of the map,
Okay.
like it like connects all the way through to that one at the very bottom in the south. Like I really like the way that that's set up.
Okay.
I actually want to keep that.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. I like this roughing tool I'm using.
Yeah, no, that's very neat.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a good place to start. I think.
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright. Okay, the wizard was cool. Land, what is this? File. Oh, we'll save this right now. Except Taylor.
We're gonna do this again.
We don't have a name.
Okay. So look, thinking about it for a day, I actually still really like Iba. Like, if you don't want to go with that, that's cool. That kind of has my vote.
Eva.
Iba. IBA.
It just feels so, like, sleek. Can we round it out a little bit? Oba.
Okay. What you thinking?
Oba.
Oba.
Feels a bit
Oba.
more friendly.
I could go with Oba. Oba 9.
Oba 9?
It's always. There's got to be a number, otherwise it's not.
Oh, it's not
planet.
aliens. Yeah, no. Well,
Yeah.
it's just Earth. Bye.
It's fine when we do it. It's not okay if you do it.
Oh, I mean, do you like that? Does that work for you? Just OBA.
I like Oba. I could go with Oba.
I don't want to step on Eva because I don't hate it.
I mean, look, between the two, I'd go with Iba. If Oba sounds like it's got a better pull to you, then then we can do Oba.
All right, let's tell you what. We will.
Yeah.
We'll just. Nothing we do here right now is saving.
Yeah, you can always just rename the file.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. Nothing set in stone until we send this to the publisher.
Which I've been in talks with.
My ass. No, you have not.
Of course.
About to say, please don't tell me. Fucking, hey, Chris Perkins. Hey, Wizards of the Coast.
Right?
Guess what? Fucking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I've got this new game. It's almost ready. It's going to be ready really soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
It's already ready.
We should have a meeting.
Please. So ground tension. Oh, so here's something that we can do too. This is why I saved it right now. Go back to land here. Oh no, what happened?
Yeah, what did happen? What did you do?
I don't know. I can open Oba though.
Oh god.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, One thing that we can do and have a lot of fun with is turn this brush opacity down. Make everything a little green. Look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted a darker forest. I understand. That's fine. Let me just turn that up.
You having fun?
Yeah, I am actually.
Good. I'm glad. I was waiting for your response. I didn't want to.
So we can color like sections, deserts, grasslands, things like that.
Yeah.
You can change the brush pattern.
Okay. No, that's sick.
Yeah, there's like a lot of dope stuff you can do with it. I've only really touched on it. Add ground color. White? Oh, we can have an Arctic section. Oh, that's something we should talk about. Oh, I haven't felt any Arctic. I mean, like, I'm not against it, but Arctic hasn't really struck me as something I'm super excited about.
I don't know. I think that it's important that we just have like all kinds of different environments just to facilitate all kinds of play. Like you could do it. You could do a kick-ass Arctic adventure, I'm sure.
For sure. So why we built this initially is something that we can talk about with the use of Scrivener alongside of it. Because why we are here, Taylor, is because we need to build cultures.
Yeah, correct.
So, come back here, you son of a bitch. So, in order to build cultures, we wanted a map, and we can change things. If you feel like throwing a sea in places, an inland sea, or expanding some islandy looking stuff, we can do that.
All right, fuck yeah.
What kind of have you thought of like much culturally?
Man, no.
Okay, cool.
So here's what we know. We know that for any of the societies that we have here, there are going to be major cities, maybe like one or at most, I think two or like three, I think would be pushing it for any of these things. And then we're going to have like pretty much other than that, it's basically just either wilderness or like very small villages. So like we're looking at a world right now that is not very heavily populated. I think if we're going to keep building off this rule of threes, maybe we designate three major, call them kingdoms for lack of a better word. And we sort of go with that.
Okay, so I was thinking culture more in the sense of like roving barbarians,
right?
Those kinds of groups. I'm not against kingdoms, and we definitely probably should have at least some. Maybe that's a good place to start, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like, the roving barbarians, like, they are barbarians largely in comparison to, like, the people in the kingdoms. Like, we're not, when you make one, you're making both. Like, you can't have one really without the other. I like that little smattering of islands.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Apparently there is a way to, like, actually measure, like, days' walks and the distance between places. Which...
Really?
Yeah. which I'd really like to do. I'm not really sure how to do. I just bought this today,
Yeah.
so I'm not like sure exactly how to do it.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, you can like, I don't know if you want to like do a quick Google on that while we get crack-a-lacking on it, but only because I got a ton of shit open on my screens right now.
Yeah, hang on one sec.
Yeah. So cultures. Okay, then let's start with like a couple, like Three Kingdoms is probably. We talked about this, and I think this is maybe where we should start. Like, I think we should start on this landmass most to the left, this westward landmass.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the biggest landmass definitely needs to be the first and probably the most built out, and then we kind of go out from there. Hey, what's the name of this thing again?
Wonder Draft.
Wonder Draft. Thank you.
Like, I'm down to doing both of these large land masses and leaving this snaked island and these islands to the south largely unexplored.
Yeah, no, I like that idea a lot.
And
That could even be something like that's like where you're sending like a lot of expeditions, even.
Sure.
Or
it gives a lot of room for mystery. It leaves us room for errata down the line.
No, it's definitely something that like you got to take the PBTA advice of like
Draw a map and leave
draw
spaces.
map, leave blanks. Like we need to make sure we're leaving a lot of this relatively unexplored, especially if we're going to go with this idea that like humanity is sort of like huddling together post collapse.
Post. I'd do some more islandy stuff. Yeah, I think we can do a little bit more of that.
This is harder information to find than I was expecting.
You do. I didn't send you in it thinking it would be.
Okay, so Wonder Draft. Go there.
Map distances. I'm trying to add a little look of realism to everything right now. Rough hewn edges and shit.
Okay, so doesn't say anything about like a tool that you can use specifically to like measure. Maybe I misunderstood you, but basically it says that you can turn on like an overlay, and once you've decided how big a single square is, you can just sort of do
that makes
it from
sense,
there.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder if we should have that overlay on now.
Probably a decent idea.
Fine, I'll have a new overlay. Symbols. Figuring out Wonder Draft. Oh, overlay. Here we go.
There it is.
Grid tool. Probably it, huh?
Best bet, yeah.
Oh, scale creator. Yeah, okay.
Oh, sick.
Measuring
okay,
tool.
yeah, that's it.
Look. Oh, okay. So we need to determine how big a pixel is. That's all. Oh, dope. Very cool. Okay.
How big a pixel is?
Well, it tells me how many, like, so it's measured by pixels, how big the map is in pixels.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if there's a way to change that
it's
to
doing
just do it by like.
It's doing it off the resolution of my computer.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying that's not like a couple, like measuring in pixels is not going to be
Oh no, there's
incredibly accurate.
looks like there's a scale creator, so segment distance,
All right.
unit label, miles, numbers, display. Okay, we can fuck with this for sure. Okay, pattern, square, flat hex, or pointed hex. What do we want?
I think I'd go for flat hex.
That's flat hex.
That's flat hex. What's
Yeah.
pointed hex?
We could turn the size down too. What?
Yeah, we might want to turn the size down at least a little bit.
Bigger.
I think like there. That seems like that's like a good.
Do you want to work with squares, pointed hex, or flat hexes?
Okay,
The
well, I'm
flat
not
hex-
really convinced. I'm not really convinced there's a huge difference between flat and pointed. It's literally the same shape, just turned
They look
by
a little
like
busy,
one.
in my opinion.
I guess go with the grid.
Okay. Oh, don't want to fuck around with the color. Cool. So
Now, really, we just have to decide how big one square actually is.
yeah,
Like, are we
segment
talking like
distance
100 miles?
That's what it's currently set at.
Okay. So 100 miles. What that'd be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's about 15 miles from, or 1,500 miles from one, like the square all the way at the bottom of like the big continent
Yep.
to the squares up at the top. It's about 1,500 miles is what we're talking about right here.
Okay, so that's what, about half the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be that like half the U.S. going long ways, going horizontal.
Yeah.
So I don't know how big we want to make this world.
I like big,
We
like
may-
unexplored.
Oh, then let's increase the size of these grids then, and just
Yeah.
make them twice as big. Like
200.
if we go 200, then that thing is as tall as the U.S. is wide.
I like that.
Okay, cool. And yeah, each square is 200.
Okay, cool. We'll keep it as miles right now. Numbers display. Cool. Okay, that is what we are working with right now. We have a scale.
All right, hell yeah.
Cool. We're sitting on a scale. We should probably call miles something else in our game. Damn, huh?
Oh God, let's not have that discussion yet. We're already in fantasy land. We need to maintain some sense of reality before we get completely sucked up into this.
Completely fucking.
God.
So let's.
Hey, really, I don't feel comfortable talking about this in the English language because,
Yeah.
like, that's not what they're gonna be.
That's true.
Like, we should really invent a whole language before we get into
All right, Token.
cities.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
somebody had that conversation with him. I know they did. I know he was like,
I'm like, dude, knock it off. Oh, we won't put one of these compass symbols?
Freemason symbol? What the fuck?
Nah, it's just like, fucking compass, navigation.
Okay.
It's just cool, is all. There's like bridges
No,
and
I mean
shit here.
it looks good. I'm not. That's not what it is. The Freemasons have a symbol that looks very similar to that.
I got some friends who's Freemasons.
I didn't say it was bad.
No,
I
they're
just
mostly
said they
just
got a
boring.
symbol that looks like that.
They're mostly just boring.
Yeah, I was about to say I've never been able to talk with them about anything interesting, so like it doesn't matter.
Y'all seem kind of boring, but have fun.
I want you to think.
So, I mean,
Okay,
we're
yeah,
talking
so-
about 3 kingdoms.
Yeah, 3 kingdoms.
So let's pick a
It
spot for
definitely
the first
seems to
one.
me. So it definitely seems to me like the big continent on the right is split. I like the idea. We've developed this idea of community. I think it makes sense because, as we know in the post 9/11 world, nothing makes a community more insular and like more connected than the threat of some kind of a foreign invader. I kind of like the idea that the big continent is maybe split between forces that aren't necessarily at war, but also aren't necessarily like amicable towards each other.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm into that sort of. Oh shit. Sort of aesthetic. Are you talking about this this westward continent?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
The big boy, as it were.
So, yeah, I mean, I think definitely having like culture. I mean, like now it's the question of how much do they interact. I don't even know if a war is the best thing. Like your regular
War maybe
person,
not.
yeah.
Like an economic war, even like it doesn't need to be like soldiers mounting up or anything. But I think that definitely something where it's like a passive land struggle, like that makes sense to me.
Okay, then I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our southmost kingdom. Where did my mouse go? I just gotta pick it. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. It was just tough to see because of the color. Dude, there's a lot of assets here. We can do like regional maps.
They
Real
really
cool.
are. My God.
So I'm just going to pick this Fort Tower, no doors, to represent one of the kingdoms. I'm going to go real small. Now we talked about these being about 200 miles around. This is about as small as one gets. It takes up about half of one of these. If we're talking about
Yeah.
3 major cities, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that would be about right. I mean, like, look, like Tenochtitlan, like you mentioned, like the Mexica and like the Aztecs earlier. Like Tenochtitlan had like a proposed population of like 30 million people.
Jesus.
So like, yeah, like for the ancient world, like that was bigger than any city in Europe at the time. That's like bigger than a lot of cities now. Like, no, having a city that big, especially if that's where like everybody has congregated to, I think that would make sense. Or even more accurately, I think it would make sense that it would be that big on the map, because that's kind of where you want to know where to go.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
So where we're gonna place this is I'm makes sense for them to be adjacent to water.
Definitely. They've got to be next to either the ocean, or if we want to build an inland lake, we can do that.
Yeah.
But
I'm
ocean,
feeling-
I think, makes most sense.
I'm feeling southern for this.
Okay.
How do you feel about like can you see my cursor at all?
I can, yeah.
Here or around this area?
So I think that it would make sense kind of where you were at initially, like right there.
Here?
Nope. Go back. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Up 1 square. Yeah, up in there. I think it would make sense. I don't think they would go too far down into the peninsula.
That's probably
just because,
fair.
yeah, because you're going to be like subject to way harsher storms and stuff. So
Somewhere like
yeah,
here or here?
yeah, I would say one of those two would be good. Like,
All right.
it just needs to be adjacent to water.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That is our first city.
Okay.
I tell you what. Let's place our 3 cities and then we'll talk about the dominant culture of those cities.
Sure.
And then from there, we can work on actual, like, other more interesting cultures than these three jagoffs.
Yeah, let's be honest here. These are going to be the most boring of the civilizations we make.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, because nobody cares about the big powers. That's not what this game is about.
No, it's essentially about the opposite of that.
It's literally about the opposite end of the map. We're just getting the boring stuff out of the way now.
Well, okay, I like the idea of, like, a large river.
Okay.
Maybe this is putting, because I like the idea of, like, I had this idea of these villains, I guess. Well, originally they were a culture I wanted to put in, but I think they might work better as villains. Like a little goblin-y society that, like, steal biologic material and consume it for or steal, like, star shatter material and consume it for magic. Like these little goblins.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of, like, river folk like that, like these marshy sort of river folk.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be cool to build a large through-land river like your Mississippi.
For sure.
Let's...
We would definitely. So one of the things about making borders is that, like, although they are, in fact, imaginary lines drawn in the sand, they are usually, like, chosen because of, like, existing natural barriers. So, like, a large river, a mountain range, a canyon, something along those lines, that would typically designate, like, in the absence of, like, more sophisticated, like, methods of knowing where a border is, that's usually going to be what distinguishes a border.
Okay, cool. Well, then, Taylor, this is actually pretty fun, by the way, what we're doing. Tell you what, you said mountain range, that got me thinking. I'm just going to do a little bit of...
Yeah, I like that. Make them a little bit more. Make them a little bit more sparse as you get further inland.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take out.
Yeah, there you go.
Those guys.
Want it to seem.
Yeah.
Sort of clustered and a little disparate as it moves further in.
That gives these guys. You can't see because I'm touching my screen. That gives these guys some protection.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. God, we are fucking big old nerds, huh?
Yeah, man. This is.
Oh, nice.
We've officially crossed whatever the last barrier was, into just full blown. Actually, no, that's not true. We haven't made up a language yet. We're not Tolkien's yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Give it a minute.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should put this on a vote.
Wait, what?
We should put this on a vote. The name of our world.
Oh, a boat. I thought you said put it on a boat, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Corey, what? Let's make a boat.
Corey, do we need to stop? Are you okay?
What's up, dude? So, on that topic, then, I like, okay, maybe then, let's see how you like this shit.
Am I lame for wanting to have the northern part snowy? Like, I feel like that's way too easy. We shouldn't do it, but that's where my gut keeps going.
Well, okay, here, maybe you'll like this.
Yeah.
Let's just add a little... Maybe your perversion was the mountains themselves. No, that doesn't work. I hate it.
What if we made it so that just, like, the whole west coast is snow?
I mean, so I gotta be honest with you. I'm not a huge proponent, as I said earlier, of. In my head, I just had a lot of jungly stuff going on.
No, and I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. At the same time, if it's gonna be a world, it's gonna have all kinds of environments,
That's
and
true.
we're gonna need to make stuff for like deserts and Arctic stuff.
It's true. Okay.
I mean, let me ask you this. Here's an easy question: is the world a fucking sphere? I imagine it is, right?
Yeah, let's not play into the flat earthers' hands.
Fucking never. Oh yeah, so then the north and the south, the southern tips of everything would at least be covered
Some
in
kind of
snow.
snow, yeah.
Like that's just how that would work.
Okay, fine, but I hate it.
Fine. No, so I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. Yeah. So I'm thinking everything in the bottom 4 panels of the grid, that's snow.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. And everything in the top 4. So that would be everything up here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that makes
Which actually
sense.
doesn't. It doesn't lend itself to a lot of it, which I like.
No, it's definitely not.
It probably doesn't look very natural, but I can build in with this to.
Right.
There we go. That looks better. Okay. A little bit of snow. We'll probably throw some fucking mountains up there.
For sure.
But let's not get caught up there. I like the idea, and I was mentioning this before, a river that's gonna, like a river that cuts through, and
Okay, yeah.
maybe let's see here, paths, water, freshwater brush, lake tool, river tool. Increase the roughness. Throw that width up a little bit. Meander distance.
Ooh.
This is
What?
much bigger and worse looking than I thought.
It looks like a fucking worm.
That cannot be. Oh, I see. That's not the actual thing. It creates a.
What does it do? Oh, okay.
How do I delete it though? Because that looks not like what I had in mind. Oh, I know how. The land tool. Oh, water. Still learning this tool. Oh, eraser. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, back to the river making. River tool. Let's throw that meander distance. River source fade in on. Throw some roughness up. I like the idea of creating like 2 points on the eastern side that merge and go towards the west above that mountain range.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Or 2 points that meet this sort of peninsula down on the south.
Okay.
2 points that meet there from either side.
Okay, let me see that.
Yeah. Let's let me throw this width down a little bit. Something like that.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
And then God, I don't know. Like not exactly that, but you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Let's get this figured out. I like the idea of one of these cultures having like, and maybe that's dominating too much of the landmass, but like sitting in a nice little nook there.
Well, maybe that's not a problem though. Like maybe this is a landmass that has like crazy shit done to it. Like
That's true. Oh man, I just thought of something that would be cool. Like these fucking like old dams and shit. Like all fucking yeah, like
hell yeah. Yeah, I am going to just point out here the scale for one of these grids is 200 miles. And like, can you draw one of those rivers again?
yeah. Oh, you mean how wide it would be?
Yeah, my basic point is like
I can turn
this
it,
thing is a highway.
I can turn it down. So it looks like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a river that's probably like what 10 miles wide,
Yeah.
5 miles wide.
So let's see if we can get like okay. I'll put it down as thin as I can get it.
Yeah.
Turn the roughness up because we seem to like that.
Yeah. There we go. That's some river shit.
It's got a little too much at the end.
While you fiddle with that, I'm going to go find a pen real quick.
Opa. Hey, Ben. I don't know what rivers look like. Hate it.
Dog. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh. Oh no. Come on.
Oh, you're frozen.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Come on, up, up. Up. Hang on.
Oh, there you are.
Back.
Weird.
Come on. Come on. Go. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I think I was playing with the river tool too much.
Yep.
I'm leaving it alone for right now. But
Okay.
got to pick another kingdom spot and aesthetic. Not that I feel beholden to these, but I like these little guys. Here? Are we making a triangle? Are we trying to make a triangle?
Yeah, resist.
I kind of like here and then having like a large river around it. Not that we have to build that right now.
Yeah. No, I like that idea, though.
And then let's obviously have another one up in the north, right?
I mean, that is the natural place, yes.
This is where you idiots go. Living like idiots.
Where you idiots go. I live in the south, thank you. I'm in that bullshit thing on the peninsula.
Probably not too northward. Well, maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense that they would go anywhere that, like, is inhospitable.
But people do live in tundra sort of areas.
Sure.
What about on the other side of this mountain range?
That was kind of where I was thinking as well.
Okay. Put it right there. We have 3 large cities. Oh, weird. Oh, no, you're not frozen. You're just very still.
I'm just very focused in thought.
What are you thinking about? War stuff?
I'm drawing this thing that I was trying to do before.
I have to pee. Keep everyone entertained. Keep Ben entertained.
Oh God, no.
Yep.
I cannot. I am not an entertainer. Corey, your bladder can wait. Okay, so then I guess I'll go ahead and I'll show you while Corey is out for the moment. So we talked before about how, make sure I'm getting this in the right place here. We talked before about how this game is all about like these 3 central things, each of which have like their own 3 attributes. I've drawn this sort of little diagram up, and what I'm thinking is maybe like we're going to put in some kind of a polished version of this maybe. But this will basically like show like you have like your Biologica, you have your Creatronics, you have Star Shatter, and then for each of these sort of sections that are created by each part of the triangle, you have basically the 3 attributes that pertain to each individual section. So like this is sort of what I had like envisioned. Not totally sure how this is going to work with the skills. I imagine those will probably have to go in their own menu. Or maybe we could even make like another ring that goes sort of around this, and then each of those have their own 3 things as well. But that's sort of what I had envisioned in my head. And, you know, stylizing it to make it all cool and old-timey and all that other stuff. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Whoa, look at you. Waffles? I like the Eggos. Okay. All right.
Hey, you want to see what I was showing, Ben?
Yes.
Okay, so when we were talking about like how this is going to look on like a character sheet, even had sort of this idea in my head. Ugh, let's get this up here.
I had a similar idea.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. So yeah, basically you have like your Star Shatter, Biologica, Creatronics, and then like for each of those things, you would have like an attribute thing,
Yeah.
and you could like have your numbers sort of listed in that little circle.
I like that.
Yeah, basically just like a little design sort of idea for like how that's going to actually look, sort of a way to help keep it all sort of centralized on your sheet.
I dig that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't know how we're going to do that with skills or anything, but I don't know if we want to do like another ring around it, but I feel like that's maybe too much. Maybe the skills should go in a separate section.
Yeah, I had a similar thought where I was like, man, that would be cool, but because I was thinking of like putting something like that center page.
Yeah.
And then building out from there, but it's probably unreasonable.
It's probably unreasonable. It would look fucking cool, though.
Yeah.
Like, it would look super neat.
Okay. Okay. Let's, like, start naming some shit.
Okay.
We should probably start naming these fucking kingdoms.
God. Here we go.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna fucking file, save as.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Eva.
Yeah.
So let's just label T. We will start here. We were not picking that font. My God.
Yeah, do they have a Comic Sans? Ooh, kind of into that, actually.
I don't hate it.
It's a fun little...
I also don't mind that.
It's a little hard to read legibility-wise.
Don't hate that either. Hate that. No. Eh. Two guys look at fonts. I don't hate that for on the map. Right
Yeah.
there. But as
No,
a
that
world
could be
name.
cool.
Ooh.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah, why haven't they given us $1 million already? Like, why are we not famous, Corey? Look at how like entertaining we are.
I'd give you $1 million.
Well, fucking do it.
Nah. Nah, not for real.
Nah, I was just saying that.
Damn it. That font size big? Yeah, that's good enough. All caps or like that?
Let me see it all caps again.
I kind of like...
I think I like that.
Okay. Kind of unassuming.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there a way, and I know this is nitpicky, is there a way to put like some kind of a scroll effect under that text so it doesn't just... I feel like it's just kind of blending into the map a lot more than it should be.
There might be.
It's not important if there isn't.
We can throw curvature on there.
Oh.
Oh, these letters are getting wacky.
Oh, look out! Look out, Yoda.
Yo, my friend. They got a generator here.
Of what?
A name
Names?
generator for settlements and bodies of water.
Oh my god, yes! A Wonder Draft. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, little town, little city. I got you. I see where you at. All right, cool. Let's just stick with that for right now. Okay.
That works.
So, fucking no, that is not the size we are going for. So, let's do about fucking 24. That's more reasonable.
That's
Still a little large. 20?
yeah, that's fine.
I can go smaller. I hate these cities.
They're not important. Actually, yeah, go like 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
Cool. Probably like, is that a good spot for it?
Yeah.
Alright. And let's do. Nope.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I can barely even see those.
It says.
Can you zoom in on these?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Gotta.
There we go.
A wild name choice.
Smithsley? Oh boy, never mind. I don't think we can trust.
Well, no, but here's the thing: we can also use this for like just to get the ball rolling.
Sure. No, I mean something is better than nothing.
Slip down.
Admittedly, I have nothing right now.
Flatcomb. These are all like good settlement
What?
names. Okay,
Drywall?
I think it's an O.
Oh, it's an Ori wall. Okay. I was like, you named your city Drywall?
I
Yeah, it's called that because all the walls are so dry here.
How do we make it fantasy? Throw in an apostrophe. Put an E and an E at the end.
Every time.
Or will I? Or I don't. I don't hate the ORW start. I like keeping it short.
Let's not go with an IL if we're gonna go with ORW. Because that just makes me think of like Orville.
Okay. Orbit.
Or walk. Maybe Orowak? OROWAK?
Wow, just Orad.
Orod?
Yeah. Feels
All
like
right.
an ancient city.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Alright, cool.
Got like a Herod kind of feel.
I'll just go ahead and under cultures. Just go ahead and fucking make a stupid folder for big, dumb, stupid cities that I hate. Is the name of the folder.
That is fair.
Okay. Okay, we got one.
Ooh. Okay. Let's hit one of these other ones here.
Yeah, let's get all of these named before we dive into what that means.
Yeah.
Oh. That pan. I don't know how to move this. Oh, I see. That cannot be the best way to do this, but it is a way. All right.
I mean, I guess if it works.
Let's name this thing something severe. This thing feels severe.
S apostrophe E-V-E-R-E.
I hate you. You can't name things like me.
It's... Fuck it. They can't say it's wrong. We made it up. We made it up and these cities are lame anyways.
They mean nothing to me. You mean nothing to me. Wait. God damn it. It's hard to control because I'm so scrolled out. Okay.
Yeah, that looks like garbage.
You talking about the city?
No, sorry. I went ahead and I just drew another circle just to see how it would look.
Yeah.
And it looks like garbage. Like, yeah.
Delete. Okay, so. Dun 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 dun. Equinest. No. Midnald. I don't mind it. Oh, and I was actually thinking about why people might live in more inhospitable lands. If there's fucking sky pirates that take to settlements, like, it might make sense to live somewhere a bit more inhospitable weather-wise.
Sure, so people don't come after you as much.
Yeah, or at least makes it harder.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're talking up here. We're talking pirate land. This is Pirate Haven.
Well, I think that they keep to maybe a section of mountains. Well, actually, see, I was thinking of pirates anchoring on mountains, but maybe it's like just real shitty weather up here, and the pirates have a hard time getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just an idea.
Yeah, no, something we should build up for sure.
Gold Keep, Luna Burst.
Yeah, so let's talk about this actually real quick, because Gold Keep kind of it helps me. It brings up kind of an important question I think we need to answer. Are we doing any kind of traditional fantasy naming? Like, are we talking like Daggerfall and like Helm's Keep and like Winterford and like all this other shit? Like, are we gonna do that or no?
I think whatever we choose for naming conventions, we have to keep standardized throughout.
No, I agree.
Well, I mean that in like what we're calling, if we're calling classes provinces, if we're calling, like, we should keep everything in that sort of space, which is hard to define, but I think it, I don't know. Gold Keep doesn't necessarily bother me, but like, I don't know. I don't want to get too standardized in your traditional fantasy shit.
No, I agree. Like, I don't really want to get into that either. I just noticed that a lot of these names that it's suggesting seems to kind of sort of hint at in that direction.
Mudspire.
Mudspire. I like it.
Mudspire rules.
I was about to say I've officially changed my mind about at least this city.
Holy shit!
Locust?
Port Locust is rugged.
Port Locust. Okay, that's actually two names I like.
Yeah.
I like both of those. You should hang on to those. Maybe not for the big cities, but Mudspire and Port Locust are pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, just as like stuff.
Yeah.
Names we like.
Yeah. Start a new document. Names we like.
Mudspire. I fucking love that band.
That is a butt rock band if I've ever fucking heard one in my life.
Mudspire.
Mudspire.
Okay, so Kesseroth, I don't hate the idea of.
I don't hate it. It definitely seems very World of Warcraft to me, which isn't inherently bad.
Maybe just this. Kessel. I like the idea of keeping things short.
Isn't that a thing?
Is Kessel a short? Is that Google?
No, it's Star Wars, the Kessel Run.
Oh, the, Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Kessel Run is what...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would be a huge problem, but I would rather not.
George... I'm just gonna call it George Lucas.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't go wrong
Just call
there.
call it Lucasfilm Ltd. and it'll be fine.
I don't see the issue. Granite Field, Harper Walk.
I mean, like if we called a town Coruscant, like I feel like they would probably be like, "Hey, you can't do that." Like, I feel like that'd be a problem.
I like the idea of keeping the names short for the cities. Vigil or more works for me. Vigil, I actually kind of dig.
Vigil would be very cool, actually, because Vigil, yeah, and it would also kind of make sense with like the history of the world for sure.
Okay, we'll keep Vigil.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to warm up to these places. I actually think their names are too big still.
They may end up being too big, like, because we're also going to have names over like the mountain ranges. There's going to be like rivers.
Yeah, I think 10.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's bigger, guys. You know it's bigger.
That is bigger.
I don't know if I like them better underneath them or...
Maybe directly over.
Yeah, I just did that and I kind of liked it.
Yeah, no, I'd go just put them, slap them directly over those things.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Yeah.
3 nerds play with a map.
Okay, last one.
Volca.
Volca
Maybe
would be pretty cool.
Maybe one of them should be kind of...
Ooh, I like Ishta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishta's cool. I like Ishta.
Maybe Ishtas.
All right.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay. Alright, dope. Okay, we got 3 stupid cities. I'm warming up to them.
No, they're still dumb.
They're still dumb and I hate them.
They're still dumb. It's dumb because we're spending all of this time on something that the players are probably not even gonna spend any time in. Like,
Yeah, but it is going to help build out our world, so...
Yeah, it helps build the narrative at the very least.
So like three things we know right now is we have at least 3 cultures.
Yeah.
I wonder how, and this is a question for you, how much should we break down cultures? Should we break it down like an Ishta city man, or should we like keep it just like city folk? I kind of like breaking it down more now that I'm saying it. Like,
Can you explain more what you mean?
like having cultures be like broad, like a city man, like D&D's cultures, backgrounds are broad.
Yeah.
It is sailor, but like, are we like we're building a narrative heavy? Sorry, I lost my own face. We're building a narrative heavy thing. Should we keep it like Ishta citizen, or like I kind of like the idea of getting meticulous with the culture choices.
So I must still be not getting it. So like, are you just saying you're wondering whether we should just like for cultures just say like Ishtas has a monolithic culture?
No, I'm saying like, should we throw down the like culture choices for your character creation as like just someone who lived in a city, or throw like Ishtasian in there, like you're from this place and that colors you in these options, like you can pick from these options to fix your character.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that probably the bigger distinction, like it should be, the culture should be like twofold. It should be like, which of these main cultures are you from? Like Ishtas, Vigil, or Orin?
Orad.
Orad, that's right, Orad. And like, depending on which of those you pick, just be like, are you like noble? Are you a peasant? Are you a merchant?
So
are you
disagree.
whatever?
I just don't think we should shoehorn people to have to pick from these big 3 dumb cities. I think what we should do.
Oh, I don't think you should have to. No.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we should have like feat options from your cultures that you can pick and affix, just like with everything else.
Yeah.
And I think that the like option should be distinct for the places and the cultures that you pick. So let's develop what fucking city life in fucking Ishtas is like.
So let me make one what, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Sorry, my brain is fried. Let me make one just point here. In any of these cities, like a merchant is still a merchant.
True.
Like
and I think we should.
Blacksmith is still a blacksmith.
So
so what if hang on. What if instead, what if we did was we had like a general list of like, these things are kind of the same no matter where you go, and you can just pick sort of where you're from. And then we can have like another list of like, okay, like these are some things that are like particular to Ishtas that you can also pick.
So
where these things are particular.
Hear me out on this. I kind of had merchant as one of the classes.
Okay.
And like maybe you were a merchant before, but like I don't know if that I don't know if that background, like where you're from, color like the cult that colors your cultural choice. Maybe it does in some situations.
Okay.
Like if you are from a roving band of cultured traveler merchants.
Okay. What are some examples of cultures in your mind? Because maybe this is where the miscommunication is happening. Like, what are some examples of what you're talking about?
Cultures that I'm thinking of. Nomadic desert people. That's a culture. River farming folk. That's a culture.
Okay.
Like barbarians in the wastes. That's a culture.
Okay.
Ishtasian citizen, I think, is a culture.
Wait, so you do think Ishtasian citizen is a culture?
Right, but I think that we should have the feats define that.
Okay, so that's something we're going to define in the feats?
Well, no. I think here's what I'm saying. I'm saying we talk about what these cities are like,
Okay.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we talk about what the surrounding cultures not in these cities are like.
Okay. So, like, I think that... So, like, to use America as an example, like, I think that Ishtas, like, any of these cities, like, they are going to be big enough and they're going to have enough pull over their regions, like, that you can talk about an Ishtasian culture, but, like, I don't feel like that's gonna necessarily work out the way that you're talking about it. At least if I'm understanding the way that you're talking about it, because like there's American culture, but like that changes depending on like what part of the country you're in.
Sure, and I think that what we're doing here, I think right now, is we need to define these cities distinctly, the same way that we defined these races distinctly.
Right.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Let's just talk about what these cities are.
Okay, sure. I think that's as good a place as any
Yeah.
to start. Okay, cool. Are we doing Ishtas first?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So can you zoom out so I can get a better idea where that's at on the map? Thank you.
Delete.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay, so this is our map
So
as it exists.
Ishtas is the only of these cities that's actually pretty landlocked, from what I can see.
Yeah.
That should be significant. I would definitely say, just looking at it, there's no way in hell there's not like a ton of rivers there, and that would probably mean the soil is really good. So if I was gonna pick something for Ishtas, that's a farming society. It's an agricultural society for sure.
I kind of had an idea just when you said that.
Okay.
We were talking about like dams and stuff before. Maybe Ishtar sits over like an old like advanced groundwater well that like was full of nutrients and spilled out into the land. It is lush and verdant because of its placement, but its placement is odd because it is in the middle of things. It doesn't seem like a very wet place, but like it is.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that works perfectly.
Old Agraden that fed nutrients and rich waters and minerals into the land, and still does to this day. Okay, how about this? Surrounded by desert, Ishtas is like a verdant oasis.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Alright. What do the powers that be in Ishtas value?
So their power definitely comes from some sense of it comes from the stability that they provide, and that comes from food. So like definitely being the fact that like they are an oasis surrounded by desert, like that's going to be one of their primary concerns, is like this needs to be something where Yoda, hey, pay attention. um, uh,
Like,
definitely needs to be something where like the agriculture is the agriculture is like the primary focus of the society. If we're going to talk about culture of Ishtar, they're a farming culture.
how about, oh man, okay. A farming culture, and as we said before, supported by old technology. The
Yeah.
idea that the ruling class, the guard, is like a technologically capable people. They
Yeah.
they like are scavengers of this old tech, pay for it with food, and hoard it in order to keep things going and growing here.
Hell yeah. And being as close as they are to all of the Forgotten Lands, they're probably some of the main people that are like paying explorers to go out and pick up old tech for them.
For sure. Yeah, they are a huge source of revenue. Techno capable,
Yeah.
ruling elite, guardsmen, and
Are we thinking like singular king? Are we thinking like a Congress, a republic?
I'm thinking like a not a king, so to say. I don't like the idea. Like, I like it spread out over like this whole class of technically like a council.
It's like a technocracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, guardsmen are technicians. The higher you go, the smarter, like the more capable. Not even smarter. The more like hardware proficient you are.
All right. Yeah.
Technocracy? Is that what you said?
Yeah, technocracy. I feel like that's a word. I don't.
Sure.
If it's not, it is now. Okay. Life outside of Ishtar. Oh boy, that's gonna be rough though.
Hey, we gotta
Like-
Oh yeah, it's fucking like. But one thing I really like about that is like meandering. Okay, so like a culture that could spawn around that. Like you talked about merchants as a culture. Maybe there is like roving merchant culture. And I
Yeah.
actually thought of one earlier, and that's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Called the Travelers.
All right.
They
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they are like a caravan of like maybe they used to be delvers, and this is where a lot of delvers go after the fact, or maybe they're like a guild and they source out merchants to delvers for better deals.
Okay. Yeah. I had a question, but sorry, my brain is like giving out on me. Oh, so I asked this. It's not directly related to the economy of Ishtar or anything like that, but it might help us understand maybe some of the motivations of the people in Ishtar. Why does Ishtar not like the other two places?
Because the other two places hold a possibility of taking tech from them.
Okay, so they pose a threat basically to that resource that they.
Covet. They're covetous.
Okay. Let's see here.
The higher up in Ishtasian society, Ishtasari society. Ooh, I like that.
Hell yeah.
The higher up in Ishtasari society you climb, the least likely you ever are to leave. Like they won't let you. Because you pose a threat at that point.
Well, and you have too much value.
Yeah.
If you get that high up in Ishtasarian society, then like you're like that means by definition that you know like all of this stuff about like old technology. They can't afford to let you go. So it's kind of like, oh man, is there like a So I'm getting this almost sense of like how celebrities talk about like being trapped in fame.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what we've got going on here, but it's like it's more of a meritized version of that, where like or a technicized version of that.
Yeah, I mean, like schools are highly watched by the council. Like for anyone with any sort of gift, like any sort of push forward. Yeah,
for sure.
Schools and the underclass are watched and monitored.
Parents encourage their kids to do shitty in school so they won't get fucking kidnapped.
Monitored and special. Taken in the night, never to be seen.
Ishtar sounds like an awful place.
Yeah, it does. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, now that we've built out like the culture a bit, I could think of like probably some feats that might go along with being from here.
I can think of a lot of feats for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely seems that like as far as culture goes, I'm still kind of hazy on like what constitutes Ishtarian culture. Like I guess you could say like there's definitely going to be people who are either focused on farming, and there are going to be people who are focused on like old technology. Those seem to be kind of the two paths that you have.
It seems sort of it probably promotes like education quite a bit too. Maybe that's just a
okay. Well, I feel like no, because that's along one of the two paths that I laid out. Because like if you're super into old tech, theoretically at least, that means that you're highly educated.
Well, maybe it's cutthroat too. Like they pit kids against each other in these these scholastic thoughts and like.
Two kids enter the spelling bee, only one will leave.
Yeah, fucking like exactly that. That's fucking awesome.
All right, Johnny. Your word is hippocampus. Good luck.
Stabbed him.
Your word is hypodysplasia, or you can just jump into this pit of snakes. whichever one you want.
He jumped into the snakes. What an idiot.
They always pick the snakes every time. It's always the snakes.
I'm not gonna go into the snakes. You're in, kid.
All right, let's do it. This kid's our new mayor.
Yeah, deviousness is promoted, like undercutting.
Yeah.
I mean,
man, I had this very nice vision of like these farmers that were just like, oh yeah, we're techno farmers. But no, Ishtar's a cutthroat place.
That's probably what the outskirts looks like.
Yeah, it probably does. Like on the outskirts, you've probably got like these wandering travelers. You probably have these few like farms that have been like owned in like families for generations and shit. That like, I don't know. They're probably a lot more like wholesome, I guess, and probably using more like outdated tech the further out you get from the city.
Techno jury rigged, like.
Yeah, for sure.
And it would make sense that they're wholesome in nature, like because they want to keep their children close because they know what happens in the city proper.
Yeah. Okay, fuck yeah.
And now we have Ishtasari Farmer and Ishtasari, like, student.
Yeah. Student, what would be the term they would use for something like a recruiter? Like, a watcher?
Ooh, I like that.
Like a watcher, or like maybe calling them like the eyes. No, maybe that's too 1984.
Oh, the eyes of Ishtas.
The eyes of Ishtas are pretty fucking cool. That's like I'm getting like if you like are sworn in, you have like a tattoo with like an eye or like some
Over
kind
the
of
back
weird
of your hand.
crazy shit like that. Like.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope. The eyes of Ishtas.
Yeah, makes you sound way more badass than like, yeah, I kidnap children.
Child kidnapper.
It sounds very intimidating, but in reality, you're just an asshole. Like, in reality, you're just a piece of shit.
And like that does open up some cool play ideas for characters. Like I would like to play someone who used to be in the eyes of Ishtas. Like,
oh, I would totally like, because that would be so cool. Talking about like, how did you like, what happened? Like, make you turn away from that line of work? How did you get out? Because obviously, if you're an eye, then like you're valued and you can't get out. So you had to do something. Like,
fuck, that's dope.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Okay, fuck. Okay, sick. Damn, the eyes of Ishtas. Okay, so fucking here's something that we should figure out. I won't keep you too late, but we should probably get these cities done.
Yeah, fair.
Land. We should probably figure out, and we don't have to do this today, but we're gonna have to figure out what the Ishtasi Oasis is called. So I'll write that down.
Telling me it's not called Wonderwall?
Oh, that's the wall that surrounds the city.
Oh, gotcha. That's the Wonderwall. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Things to name: the Oasis, the surrounding desert.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I do like the idea of like the travelers as roaming merchants.
Definitely.
Merchants traveling in a caravan.
I also need the name of the dam.
Okay, so I for this I didn't necessarily say it was a dam. It is like in my head it was like an underground water cache, kind of like very Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, like an aquifer.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Traveling in a caravan, almost like a guild. And a guild will often lease out merchants to travelers, to delvers.
Oh, Yoda, is she here? Is she home? Are you gonna bark? You're not gonna bark at all?
Just do one Bork. Oh, by the way, we got our first, piece of spam on my channel.
Yeah, I saw. We're like
Very
real
cool.
time. We're real time streamers now.
Oh.
But they can do so much for us, Corey. Oda, are you gonna go see your mom? No.
Delbers.
Go. 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 Come on. Come on. Go. 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 I'll be up in a sec. All right, let's talk about these other two here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we don't have to do these right now. We can do these a different time.
Well, we can finish the cities at least.
We can finish these cities.
Fucking, I'll destroy them.
Well, I kind of like
They're-
Ishtis.
Yeah, no, I'm down with what we have.
All right, so basics of Orod.
Orad. So this one is closer to the sea.
Maritime.
It's going to have a much more temperate, much more temperate climate than what Vigil's going to have. Definitely would make sense that this is more based on probably like fishing. I would say trade, but who are they trading with, right? Like I don't get the impression that these cities are trading with each other.
No, I like. Okay, so
Yeah.
like we brought up like monsters of lore and things like that.
Yeah.
Instead of fish, maybe these channels between islands are filled with like serpents, like snakes. They hunt them.
Okay.
Like maybe
Why?
well, fucking food and like fucking
The snakes are gross.
huh? Snakes are gross.
You were just saying. I thought you were just saying because snakes are gross, they just fucking hunt them
Yeah,
as a whole community.
we hate these snakes.
You guys sunk like 70% of your GDP into just hunting these snakes. Why? Because they're gross.
Hate them.
You know?
What is it? Just like one king who hates it? We all hate him.
We all do. All of us.
Well, I mean, maybe they have like a lot of lore around that. Like it's a blight on the land.
Okay.
See themselves as stewards of this place.
Okay.
Uh,
It still doesn't quite explain how
Why?
they like this is one of the three major cities, and arguably it's maybe one of the most productive.
okay.
Is like it doesn't have the cold that Vigil deals with. It doesn't have the desert that Ishtas deals with. This place
I got it.
is yeah.
We talked a lot about biological merging of. Okay, so Ishtas is very much a creatronics-based thing. We have three fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
So let's play into that. Okay, so biological and Star Shatter is what we have left.
Okay.
I mean, these things could be like irradiating nebula energy. They harvest them for magical resources.
Okay. So Orad is in arcane society. It's a mageocracy.
Well, I'm thinking more militaristic than that, though.
Okay.
What would the name for a militaristic society be?
That's oh my god. It's a militocracy? That can't be right. Hang on.
Or fuck, maybe they
it's a stratocracy.
Stratocracy.
Yeah.
Now I kind of okay. Biologica. I mean, it could be.
So the question. Yeah, the question is resources. So if it's magic snakes, if that's the answer,
Sick resource,
the question is
but-
what do they? Yeah, it's a sick resource. I'm into it, but what do they do with it? Is the question.
Well,
we know what they do with the food.
Well, maybe it's
Ishtas.
not. Maybe it's not magic sticks. Maybe this is Biologica, and maybe it's just like fucking potently full of biologic like energy here in that like. And I'm sticking with the snakes ideas just for something to grab a hold of.
No, stick with it. I'm into it.
Not just like maybe there's something inherent about these scales or skin.
Okay.
I do like the idea that it is like widely dispersed over these islands too, or at least some of them.
Yeah. No, definitely the ones that are closer in towards the mainland. Those are occupied.
Yeah.
100%. Okay.
Leathers.
So what would
So what are
the question is? Sorry, go ahead.
I was trying to think like early resources for early cities. What do we have? Like a cottaging industry, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it is like leathers and stuff like that, like snake skin leathers.
Okay. I like the idea that like what you were getting at, that like the scales and that have some kind of like special property. But definitely one of the things that I think that we can really utilize to our advantage here is if we come up with something unique about all of these different places, that's going to allow for whoever is GMing this thing to come up with way more unique like missions
Yeah.
when they're trying to come up with adventures and stuff. So I like the idea about these scales. Do we think maybe there's a belief that like maybe wearing like these skins or like doing something biological with these scales will like imbue people with some kind of a magic ability?
Biologica, we talked about tribalism. It's religious
Right.
in nature.
Right. Yeah.
It's largely ornate and religious. Like maybe there is like to the leathers, like it is tough. It is hard to get through, and that's like why you have these men going out as like professional hunters for these creatures. They're both fishermen and like dangerous wranglers, eye patches,
Yeah.
spears, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it all feeds into the larger, the central part of the society, which is this ornate religion. It is built upon like a million, like maybe not a million different texts, but like old texts old lore that was discovered. It is built on probably incorrectly, but like it is all.
sure.
All like around this serpent, and so everything is decorated in these scales. This snake skin. There should be a property to it. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I want there to be something actually tangible to it. Like I like where you're going with the religious aspect. That's
It's-
definitely something that we should play up.
Okay.
Um,
It is not just. It's like smeltable. It is like metallic in nature, and they make weapons out of it. It is like a cross between ivory and steel, and they harvest them,
Hell yeah.
skin them, and smelt them down. The whole religion is based around forges and like snake forges,
And that's why hunters are so valued in that society, is because these things are legit dangerous.
And
like
you have to, like,
it's not just like hunting snakes.
Yeah, you have to hook under the goddamn scales and rip up, and like it takes whole teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so
And then there's this whole sort of religious background driving it.
Rod is surrounded by dotted islands and is uniquely positioned around fair harbors. However, the surrounding waters are, and this gives us stuff for the monster manual. Surrounding waters are littered with I'm just calling them this, techno-organic, metal-clad serpents. The hunting of which is done by salt of the earth, but rugged and revered hunters. They work in competing clans.
Yeah. And definitely they make up the nobility, like in the same sense that like the higher like level of like technological prowess you have in Ishtas, like that determines how high you go. Like your family's lineage of like hunting these like dangerous things, like that's what all of the noble families do.
How about this? There is divergent paths within this society. There are the hunting clans, and they have their whole culture, and there's probably like councils within that, and inner fighting that goes on, water disputes, things like that. But beyond that, there is the council or the ruling class of the religion that people like a whole nother realm of upper class that
you're also going to have a high level class of smiths in this area.
Yeah.
Like people who take these like metallic scales and they work them into like various shapes for like armor and weapons. They're going to play a huge part in this society.
I was kind of thinking like the smiths might be a part of the religion. Like I like the idea of the serpent forge.
Ooh, yeah, for sure. That definitely is going in. Yes.
And they work in competing clans and have a complicated system of inner governance for water and hunting disputes. Beyond that, the scales are significant because they are fine metal and revered by... We gotta have a name for this shit. Find that water again. The symbols, regions, text, and labels. I'm just gonna. Kisser Brook, Visual Hood, look. It's a Ophidian. Let's use your thing from Ruma.
What, the Winding Ophidian?
The Winding Forge of the Ophidian.
Ooh. Oh yeah, why not? Oh.
The Forge of the Ophidian.
Yeah.
Ophidian. A church
of devoted Smiths, devoted Smiths and clergymen.
Yeah, and priests.
I like that because it gives us a lot to work with. What do we call the hunters?
For now, I think just hunters. Let's move on to vigil
Yeah.
real quick. I'm starting to run out of steam here.
Dude, we can just call it right now.
No. We're so close. Let's do vigil and then we'll be good.
Here's the thing. I want to make sure that we're like fresh when we kind of like. I don't want to just dial it in.
Look, we're gonna come back to this one way
Sure.
or the other.
Okay,
So
fair.
like,
Okay, so
as far as I'm concerned, right now we're just nailing down like basic attributes of the cities, and like we're gonna come back and we're gonna flesh out these details either next time or sometime further down the road.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with that.
okay, cool.
Vigil.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our Biologica. Vigil is our nebula.
Yeah. Shit. So Vigil, man. Okay. So we already talked about how Vigil is not necessarily the home to. What would you think about this? So, like you mentioned, like sky pirates and all that, and like how they kind of make sort of stations up here in the mountains. If you're familiar with pirate history, you actually would know that. I mean, most pirates throughout history were actually working for the government. Like that was their thing. They were called privateers.
Yeah.
What if we have kind of a similar setup here? Like Vigil, kind of in the same sense that like,
There are whistles. There are secrets that the men of Vigil work with the Nocturne. The men of Vigil have dealings with the Nocturne.
hell yeah.
I'm just gonna write that down exactly as I just said it. Secrets
In the dark, men of vigil have dealings with the Nocturne. None of it
Definitely
proven,
think that
of course.
I definitely think that it would make sense that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But I've heard the magics they profess they profess to have are unnatural.
Yeah. Come on. There you go.
Okay, so they live in a terrible place.
Yeah, like probably the least hospitable of all of the climates, like of the three cities. Which means they have the most need. Definitely have, probably I would imagine the lowest population of the three. It's probably still very big. Compared with the rest of everything else, with all of these small settlements and wilderness, but it's definitely not a city that's as populated as like Orod is. Certainly like Ishtar. I'm thinking mining makes sense.
To the closest to the.
So what are they mining? In that same topic of what those things are, what are they mining?
Yeah, no, I mean that's really it. Is like it would make sense that they're mining something that is alien. Yeah.
And we already have one culture with metals.
Yeah. Maybe some kind of like alien organic material. Well, but we already have one with organic materials too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the snakes are a different kind of. They are a biologic resource, is what we've decided them as.
They are.
What are the industries of old times?
So there's definitely like whaling. There's
Which I think we covered with the snakes. That's basically whaling, right?
yeah, I was about to say, I don't feel like it's unique enough from the
Yeah.
snakes. There's God, old time professions.
I like the idea of them, like, I do like the idea of mining. I think you're onto something there. Like, the idea of these, like, terrifying tunnels. Like, they're not delvers. This is just, like, they were already hollowed out, you know?
Yeah.
I like the idea of there being a king in Vigil, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely painting this city as more of an evil place, and I'm very quickly realizing that like most evil places in fiction don't really have working economies. They just kind of exist to do evil. And that doesn't really work. Okay, so what do you
Well,
mine?
so-
you
so-
mine some kind of precious metal, right? Or you mine some kind of precious material. We don't want it to be metals because we've already done that. We don't want it to be necessarily organic material. What if it was some kind of
Let's both say our idea at the same time.
okay? One, two, three.
Alien crystals
Plutonium?
that keep you warm. Hey, we have the same idea. I mean, warmth. The idea that they live in an inhospitable place and they're mining warmth.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what it is, right? Like, what's your biggest concern if you live in a place like Vigil? It's like, how do you keep your population warm, right? Even being fed, like you're gonna freeze to death in 6 hours. You'll last like a week without food. But like,
I picked
gotta
this tower
stay warm.
on accident, but I like the idea of like them piling this shit into this tower to keep the city warm.
yeah, no, I totally agree. So, are we talking like some kind of like coal, or are we talking like is it something more special than that?
I don't know if coal's the right idea, but I like the idea of it, like, man, something like that trapped that. We have this idea of nebula as the magic.
Yeah,
So a material like coal that is infused with this nebula, what would we call that? We'd throw Y's and R's in there because it's an evil place. Open tunnels for a harsh but efficient king. Ruler. We'll do ruler.
what is this thing? Provides them with warmth.
Nebula. I mean, it's like meteorite, right?
Oh
like,
god, is this okay? I actually kind of went there too. I was gonna say, is this too evil? A meteorite crashes into the ground somewhere near where Vigil eventually becomes built, and it's burning, and it burns into the ground, and it creates this underground sort of aquifer, but like of imagining like a river of fire, a lake of fire, literally. What if they're mining that? Like
this,
it's some kind of an underground lake of eternal fire that they are like pulling from and
they're just,
extracting.
like, covered in burns and shit. These men are fucking grizzled. They live in ice and are bred of fire.
Can't decide if I like this place or if I kind of. This feels very like stereotypical to me in some way. Like,
Well, maybe it's
I'm trying.
It's, you know what it is. It's not fire. It is plasma.
let's do plasma. I like plasma better. Like Lake of Fire, just it rings too much of like biblical, and I know that that's not in Lord of the Rings, but it makes me think of Mount Doom. Like, I don't know. I feel like we're building this place way too close to Mordor if it's going to be like a Lake of Fire. Let's do plasma.
Miners harvest the open tunnels for a harsh but efficient ruler. A meteorite that crashed long ago. Fills the under caverns, themselves riddled with their own danger, with rivers of plasma. This is collected, added to the tower at the center of the city, warming those surrounding areas. It's a harsh place, but like at the same time, it is a harsh place because the environment necessitates it to be harsh.
Right, yeah. Like, it doesn't really have a choice. Like, if it's not a harsh place, then no one lives there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if we want to live, we have to follow this man. He is...
Yeah.
He's not... It's not, like... I think a lot of fiction goes to the place of needless cruelty for evil.
Yeah.
This is not that.
No. Definitely not. Yeah, this is entirely somebody who, like, yeah, they're an asshole, but they're also... Like... This needs to be done. And if it's not done, then everyone's gonna die.
Yeah. It is actually a lot more communal in nature than I think much of these other societies have.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think despite the harshness, I actually think you probably find more loyalty in Vigil than you do anywhere else. Like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine a place like that, like, people understand that, like, this is how it is, and like, I'm not gonna leave. My family was born here, but like, this is what it is.
That
right
man
now.
may seem cruel to you. He saved my family's life,
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. The thing about necessity, like they've dealt with the Nocturne, this ever-present evil, because they had to. They had to solve the problem, so they have dealings in the dark with this threat.
I actually would prefer to leave the dealings with the Nocturines specifically in the terms of rumors from other people.
I totally agree too.
I feel like that's something that a GM could have a lot of fun with, and I'd rather not nail that down.
But for us right
but
now,
I like that that's involved.
yeah. Yeah, that's fucking...
Okay.
I mean, like, we have...
Oh yeah.
Like, guardsmen are huge here. The knights, the miners, everyone is... I mean, it's fucking nearly communist.
Miners are like firefighters. They're considered like heroes within that community. Like, if you work down in the mines and, like, you know, you go into a restaurant like wearing your uniform or whatever, that, like, people will be like, you know, thank you for your service. And
So
shit.
long as you fulfilled your quota for your life, like, you are locked into, like, not comfort but safety.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this now. This is a good spin on what I felt like we were making at the beginning. I think that that's a lot better.
I'm just gonna write down in parentheses, men surround, these men surrounded by ice, but born of fire. Just because I thought it sounded nice.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Alright, cool.
All right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we got some stuff done.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
Yes.
This has been so much fun, and we will try and do this again sometime soon, and you'll get to learn more about the world of Eba.
Eba. Where'd all my streaming stuff go? How do I? Oh, there it is.
And we'll also get to play Oops All Jar Jar someday and get sued by George Lucas.
Smash that subscribe button. Bye. I love you all.
Bye bye.